Hey guys, what's going on? It's Ash here coming at you today in Raid Shadow Legends. Today we're going to talk about just an insane champion that all of you guys who own him should probably build him, unless you literally have like every legendary inside the game, and that is Stag Knight. Certainly one of the best champions in the epic category, and really overall inside the game. He's unique in ways that we'll talk about inside today's video. This is an updated guide on the champion. I did a guide on him like the day after I pulled him almost a year ago, so I thought that, you know, because he is such an incredible champion inside this game, he justified a new updated build, and really giving you guys what I think is the best build possible for Stag Knight in the game. And we'll talk about all the areas that he's used in, including Doom Tower. Also in today's video, guys, and I really want your feedback on this one, I'm going to put him with better teams. On previous champion guides, I put them with free-to-play teams, and I guess the issue there is putting Stag Knight with, you know, a bunch of rare champions. Even if it gets the job done, it's going to take me, you know, 6, 7, 8 minutes to finish these runs sometimes, especially Doom Tower, and the video ends up being, you know, a half an hour, 40 minutes long. I think we can do better than that, so I'm going to stick them in pretty good teams with other legendary champions on the Stag Knight video today, because you guys will get the point, hopefully. If you want to see me go back to the other way and maybe just cut time in those matches with all rare champions, I am happy to do so. I'm going to go ahead and post a community tab poll to poll you guys on that, because as always, I want to create the type of content that suits you guys the best. So Stag Knight, in terms of his skills here, on his A1, and people overlook this A1 a lot, and it's a big part of the reason that makes Stag Knight so good, okay? So attacks one enemy 2 times. Each hit has an individual 50% chance when booked of placing a 30% big version of decreased speed for 2 turns. Decreased speed is one of the most overlooked debuffs inside the game, at least in my opinion. It is so incredible against bosses pretty much everywhere inside the game. As long as they're prone to it, it's really, really good to have that 30% decreased speed debuff on bosses and really anybody. But on the A1, with a 2 times 50% chance at landing, do not sleep on this decreased speed. Against bosses especially, it's tremendous. Now on his Hunt's Master, his only other active ability on his A2, an AoE attack, and then has a 95% chance when booked at placing a 60% decreased defense and a 50% decreased attack debuff for 2 turns. So we're getting decreased attack big version and decreased defense big version on a 3-turn cooldown lasting 2 turns. Exactly what we want. You might say, well, it's a 95% chance. The good news is you can pick up the sniper mastery and go right back into the 100%, because that's going to give you an extra 5% chance at landing both of those debuffs. Okay, we'll talk about masteries in a second here, but an insanely good ability, right? Not many champions inside the entire game, including legendaries, have both decreased attack and decreased defense on an AoE on a 3-turn cooldown on the same ability. Very, very, very good. Lead the pack, place a 50% increased accuracy buff on an ally for 1 turn each time the ally has a debuff resisted by an enemy. He was actually the first champion inside the entire game for about 6+ months until they released Khazard, the dwarf champion, who had increased accuracy. He was the only dude in the game on this passive here. It's not a game-changing passive or ability to add to his overall kit, but it's a really, really nice bonus to have. You get a resist, boom, Stag Knight's got you covered. He gives you that increased accuracy. And keep in mind that increased accuracy is based on not their base accuracy, but obviously their total accuracy, including all of their gear, their masteries, etc. So it's going to be a very, very big boost, similar to increased speed and increased attack. On the masteries here, I went with a pretty typical kind of an OG build. This is actually the build that I've been using on Stag Knight for a year now, basically, since I pulled him, a little bit less than a year. And I was looking at this and I'm like, you know what? It's cool. You guys should always, 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 never, never, never blindly copy a website or a YouTuber for masteries. Take a second, take a minute or two to actually read the masteries. It's not rocket science here. I remember in the beginning, the reason I say that is in the beginning when I was playing this game, I was oddly intimidated by masteries. I was like, I need to copy this somewhere. And I don't know why, because it's so obvious. Increase accuracy. Do you need accuracy? Yes. Are there debuffs? Yes, you need accuracy. Increase more accuracy. Yes. Increase even more accuracy.
Isn't it obvious? I say No.
And then you just kind of read the skills. 30% chance of increasing the turn meter by 10% whenever a debuff cast by this champion is removed or expires. Is he casting debuffs? Yes, he's casting 3 of them: decrease speed, attack, and defense. So of course we want arcane celerity, and you can kind of just read on from there. So just try to make some, the best way to learn is just read and then think about what the champion does, right? And then sometimes you might already be building your Stag Knight with 300, 400 accuracy, and you don't need the extra accuracy, so you might as well pick up the HP, right? So always be thinking, because there's no carbon copy mastery build that's going to work for everybody, for any champion. It's just not. But anyway, with that said, Master Hexer is a great tier 5 mastery to use on this champion. Chance to extend all of his debuffs. None of them are excluded here, so that's a really, really crucial mastery to pick up, along with Sniper, because of the reasons that we talked about, right? Extra 5% at landing the decreased speed, brings that up to 55 per hit, and then of course the decreased accuracy, or attack, and defense. War Master, great mastery for this champion. If he hits 3 times, we want Giant Slayer, 2 times or 1, or 3 times or above Giant Slayer, 1 or 2 go with War Master is generally the the school of thought around those masteries. So that's what we went in terms of masteries. In terms of the artifact build on this champion here, guys, I've said this for a while now, and I'm still a huge fan of putting Stag Knight in a shield set. I think he's one of the best champions to put in a shield set, because you're going to be using him in so many locations inside the game. Look at his base HP. That's very, very high for a debuffer. 21k HP is, an aberration in terms of what we come to expect from debuffers. So let's take advantage of that. You can see that I have 30 extra HP added onto his kit here in terms of my total stats, but that's fine, right? Don't stress yourself out just because you put a shield set on him that you have to go all out HP. 25, 30k extra HP is fine. 50k HP, I'm getting a 15k HP shield on all allies for 3 turns every single round. That's a lot of HP. That's a lot of shield. And it just really, even in the arena where Stag Knight's really, really good, we're going to talk about all the areas of the game that he can be used. This is very, very helpful. So trying to get his accuracy, trying to get his crit rate to 100% is important too. You want him fast. You want him to be faster than your nukers, faster than anybody else on your team doing damage. 224 is probably maybe a little bit overkill, but there's no such thing as overkill on Stag Knight, in my opinion. I think that over 200 is something to kind of aim for. But as long as he's faster than your nukers as the most important thing, but really you like to get in front of the enemies ever going first and giving them that decreased attack as well, right? To kind of, withstand that first hit, especially in the arena if you don't go first. And the shield also helps in the arena, because if you don't go first, boom, you're protected. You got that shield. So attack, sure. You can put attack percentage on his chest if you want to. You can actually put out a decent amount of damage. We're talking like, I don't know, 300 with War Master, 100% crit rate. You're looking at like 350k. It depends on the team around you, obviously, but can put all the way up to like 700k damage against like level 20 dungeons inside the game. So crit rate, trying to get it to 100, does put out a decent amount of damage. Debuff accuracy is at 231 right now. I want to point out something about that. Right now I have an HP banner on him. For Doom Tower, especially as you get to Doom Tower hard, as you get to more and more difficult bosses, you're going to have an accuracy north of 300. But for the arena too, I like to aim for 300 plus for Gold 4 into Platinum. I mean, if you're using him in Platinum, you want like 500 plus, right? But at the end of the day, I think that aiming for around 250, 300 for Gold 4 in the arena is good. 200 plus should be fine for any of the traditional dungeons inside the game. And then Doom Tower normal, 200 should be fine. Doom Tower hard, again, we're wanting over 300 accuracy. So use a banner which works for you. If you're, I'm not using him in Doom Tower hard right now, so over 200 is fine on the accuracy. So I went with HP instead on my banner. Again, just like masteries, everything's going to change depending on the champions that you're using around this champion and where you're using this champion. General rule of thumb, again, 10 accuracy per stage level on any of the dungeons. So if I'm fighting Dragon 14, I generally want 140 accuracy if I can find it. You can get away usually with a little bit less, but that's kind of the safe zone. A perfect case scenario. So again, if you don't have the accuracy or you need more, do not hesitate with putting accuracy banner on Stag Knight. I'm sure the majority of you guys probably are using accuracy banner, but heck, we have him in a shield set. We might as well try to boost up the HP if we have enough accuracy otherwise. So crit damage is a great choice on the amulet. Amulet's also an amazing source of accuracy, so make sure you take advantage of that. And then HP, obviously HP main stat and HP substat are going to be ideal if you have a shield set on him. If you don't, you can go defense, HP, or attack, depending on what you need. If your team is dying, if your Stag Knight's dying, certainly go defense. Same thing with the chest. We're not going to cover it again. Attack percentage if you're not dying, attack percentage if you're not dying, I was right, but defense percentage or HP if you have a shield set, okay? Defense if you don't have a shield, defense percentage. HP, I would go if you do have a shield, HP percentage, or if you're not dying at all, your team's not dying, go ahead and put an attack percentage on your chest. Speed on the boots, crit rate on the gauntlets, and then, you know, in terms of substat priorities, we've already talked about it a lot. We like speed, we like accuracy, we like crit rate on our Stag Knight and HP percentage, especially if you do have that shield set on him. So there we go, guys. That's all the artifacts. Where is this dude good? Arena offense, he's a 5. Very, very good. One of the better debuffers in the game for the arena, because again, you get that decreased attack as well, and you get the pinpoint accuracy. A really, really good champion. The only thing for the arena to keep an eye out, though, is there are a lot of Magic Affinity champions in the arena. Magic Affinity probably the most popular overall in the game, and of course, he won't be debuffing, landing debuffs as consistently against Magic, being a weak Affinity matchup. Clan Boss, very, very good as a debuffer, obviously. Faction Wars, incredible, especially in a shield set. When the going gets tough, you put on the shield set, right? Arena defense, you know, he's basically a fine debuffer if you have a speed team for arena on the defensive end. Spider's Den, he's tremendous. A proper affinity matchup, he's a 5 for sure. Dragon's Lair, for Dragon's Lair 20, he's an anti-affinity matchup. Anywhere else, he's absolutely amazing. So I would not really be using him in Dragon 20. I would rather use like a War Maiden, put out more damage that way as well. And then everywhere else in the game, for the most part, Fire Knight, he's amazing. One of the best debuffers for Fire Knight. He has a 2-hitter on the A1 too, which helps a little bit on the Fire Knight shield. And then Ice Golem, he's amazing. You guys get the point here. He's really, really good, and he's really, really good on against Scarab King in the Doom Tower. So let's go ahead and show you where do we want to start here. Let's show you some speed runs here. Let's go Spider's Den. And again, this is, you know, my main team. I'm using Archmage Helmet for the increased crit damage. I'm using basically 2 Cold Hearts and a Royal Guard, and Stag Knight is the debuffer. It's a 25-second to 31-second speed farming spider team. The whole takeaway here is kind of the team composition, right? Building out 2 Cold Hearts, and I get it, guys, 100%. A lot of you guys don't have 1 Cold Heart. I don't have 1 Cold Heart on my free-to-play account. But either way, you're still going to have Stag Knight on your team as a debuffer, right? So, like, for the purposes, again, of this video, you know, we could be here for 6 minutes watching some rares, HP burn, stun, or whatever, the spider's out, or I could just show you that, hey, he landed consistently, his decreased accuracy, his decreased speed, very important, and again, his decreased attack on the spider, and then everybody else just nukes him down, or excuse me, her down. And actually, this run is not going so well, right? I said it was a 25-second run, but one of my Cold Hearts must have not done a ton of damage. We'll still be okay here. But basically, you guys get the point. That decreased speed, again, I mentioned it, what, 2, 3, 4 times now? I'll stress it one last time in this video. It's an incredibly important debuff to have against this spider. Who knows? We may have wiped had we not had that decreased speed up there the entire time against him. So there we go. Stag Knight puts out about 1 million damage too. Not too bad. Let's go ahead and move things right along here. And again, we'll show you Fire Knight. I could show you all the dungeons, but I do want to get, actually, you know, honestly, guys, I think you kind of get the point here, right? This is my kind of main Fire Knight team right now, but really I would add Venus as a debuffer because she's a companion champion with Cupidus. But I'm not going to show you the team. I mean, at this point, I think you guys kind of get it. I'd rather show you some Arena and also Doom Tower. So let me show you Doom Tower first because I'd have to build a quick Arena team around him. Let me just go on hard floor 30. And this is a team that, again here, guys, need a shield champion, you right? And I just so happen to have Draconis available for for this video. Krisk, Draconis, and who else do I have built right now? Valkyrie, obviously, and Warlord. So like either a Void Legendary that I have built or Draconis. And newsflash, I tried like 8 times on this team. Draconis didn't get the job done. I'm not going to lie to you guys. So I do have Valkyrie as my legendary kind of OP champion here to carry ourselves in terms of shields. And then the team composition is Vergis for support. Tremendous support champion. If you guys have not invested in him, if you have him in your vault, go ahead and check him out, especially for Scarab King. Very good. And then we have Coldheart in Destroy gear. Nice that they have those little notate section or whatever you can mark your champions so I don't have to endlessly click on them and figure out who's who, right? So annoying. I used to have to write down like my crit damage differential. Oh, the one with less crit damage is the one in Destroy gear. So nice that they have those little markings now, right? But yeah, guys, I have a Destroy Coldheart, a Destroy Armiger, and then basically 2 support champions, 1 shield and 1 in Valkyrie, and 1 just overall support in Vergis.
Just do it!
God, Vergis? Really, Ash, bro? I know, guys, man. I mean, 2 years doing this thing, doing the raid channel, and I still butcher names every day. And then we have Stag Knight, which again, in a shield set helps, right? Because you go into the Scarab King, you finish the first 2 rounds, especially if you're on auto attack, and then boom, you know, you might Valkyrie or whoever you're using, Miscreated Monster, whoever your shield champion is, the shield is on cooldown or off cooldown, and you're kind of screwed. So it's nice to have at least 1 champion, in this case, Stag Knight, in that shield set, just in case. I actually wasn't paying attention to see if that kind of bailed us out in this attack itself. But you guys can see, basically, Armiger and Coldheart just chipping away at the enemy max HP here at the top. This is a team minus Valkyrie, really. Sticking in a better shield champion than Draconis is a team that you guys can kind of try to build. Essentially, again, just stacking up as much shield and support as you can with 1 or 2. Don't really need Armiger and Coldheart. Could get by with just 1. And then kind of going, proceeding in that kind of direction strategically. So that is the team here. And again, you know, we're putting out a decent amount of damage. Actually, all said and done, he was the damage leader aside from Valkyrie there, but really against Scarab King, it's not about damage because Coldheart, we all know Coldheart and Armiger really put out the most damage because of the chipping away at the shield. Anyway, let's show you Arena real quick here, guys. I'm actually pretty high right now, I guess, relatively speaking. So let's just, you know, tackle some of these teams here. So this team I can guarantee is going to be way faster than me. Let's go against a couple defensive teams here. So we're going to have to use really good champions, newsflash, because we're going against really good teams. So we're going to go ahead and use a Arbiter. We're going to use a Stag Knight, obviously, as our debuffer. And his accuracy's a bit low. Again, you know what we're going to do? We're going to swap out that accuracy banner. Be right back. All right, guys, so we have an accuracy banner now on Stag Knight. We have Arbiter, Stag Knight, Archmage, and Skullcrown as our team. So Skullcrown will be our nuker. And I think we can just go ahead and put this one on auto here, and it should be absolutely fine. This is a good speed farming team. You can see we landed all 8 of those debuffs there with Stag Knight, even on Seeker, who is an anti or negative affinity matchup here. Here we go, Skullcrown, Unkillable coming in handy there. Archmage is going to be coming around again and stunning the enemy team, so we should be absolutely fine here. Let's see. Skullcrown's still alive as well. Okay, he finally goes. Oh, did he already go with the stun? My bad. It doesn't matter because Arbiter does have her revival and extra turn up. Did she not have that up? Did she already use that? I hate when she uses that when she's on, when she is on. So this is going to come down to it here against this team. Okay, we get Arbiter down. Mashal is not an easy...
Hey, it's not go time!
But we do have the revive up, so we beat this team. Man, that was not easy, right? All those debuffs, them cutting us in line. This team is not speed tuned, so take that into consideration. But his... Oh, I should mention, so plus, we're right around 300. Right around 300 on accuracy here on Stag Knight. Let's see if we can knock off a couple more teams here. This team's going to be very, very tricky. But let's see what we can do here. So the first thing we need is, I guess we can keep Skullcrown in there. Why not, right? But we will have to take Archmage out and replace him with Skytouch. She is my arena because of Hegemon going here. And this is where the shield really comes in handy, right? Because it could be a Nukemon, and then if that's the case, we'll be dead oftentimes, unless we do have that shield up to start things out. So there it goes.
I don't think so.
We still die. Stag Knight still dies, but he is revived. So let's see. Can we even... Well, weren't able to debuff the enemy team, so we're going to die here, and I'm not going to cut this one out. That was unfortunate, but man, Stag Knight died even with the shield. Maybe had we had that HP banner on him, he would have been able to sneak in there. The reason I don't use Stag Knight personally for the arena is because I have Madame Ceres. Madame Ceres is superior in the arena to Stag Knight. Stag Knight's pretty much superior everywhere else inside the game. Let's see if we can win the speed battle here against this team. That's what it's going to come down to, right? If we win the speed battle, we are good. If we don't, we lose. So let's see. Not always the case, but let's see. And again, Arbiter does cut in line, but we are able to get the debuffs in on the enemy team. That's really helpful because then we had to eat only basically half of, or give or take, Skullcrown's damage that she otherwise would have put on us. And we're still going to win this one because our Skullcrown still has to go. And there it goes. Everybody's dead except for Skullcrown. And as long as we can go ahead and sneak in there, Stag Knight gets the job done. If you don't have Madame Ceres and you do have Stag Knight, you're probably running Stag Knight in the arena as your debuffer. Of course, you might be subbing in or out other debuffers for affinity matchups. But here's an example of what he can kind of do in the arena as part of a speed team. That's usually the type of teams you see him in the arena. Overall, guys, no matter where you're using him, Ice Golem, again, Fire Knight, Spider, Scarab King, basically anywhere arena, so many areas in the game, Stag Knight is an incredible top-of-the-line champion. And hey, if you don't have a shield set to put on him, no worries, just go ahead and build him in accuracy sets or speed sets. You can't really go wrong with those as well on this champion. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and as always, take care, guys.